Hello. I'm making this video to address an issue that's cropped up a few times, or most times, with the emails I got this week regarding the homework. This particular issue is not just something you will have with this homework, but it's something you could actually face when working in the industry if you don't always pay attention to it. It has to do with appending data sets. So for the purpose of explanation or clarification, I've created two data sets. I call them state A and state B. The data sets have nothing to do with the homework for this week. State A has two columns, state ID and zip code, and state B also has three columns, two columns and 3 rows, state ID and zip code. We're going to try and append them, and we'll see the result. So click on append and pick state B, and boom. We have 6 rows as we expect, but unfortunately we have 4 columns. The reason why we have 4 columns is because the column names in state A dataset do not match up with the column names in state B dataset. So while the software understands that it needs to end up with 6 columns because there are 3 columns in each data set, it does not know how to line them up properly. So let's revert that. And we're going to change this column name to match the column name for state B. So zip code. Well, before we change the column name for state ID, let's do the append again. And now we have 3 columns. That's still because state ID in state A is not the same thing as state ID in state B dataset. So we're going to change that again. And when we fix this, let me see, is it capital D or lowercase d? Okay, so it's capital D. So now let's append. And here we go. This is exactly what we were expecting to have. So it's always important when you are appending 2 data sets, 2 or more data sets, I should say, ensure that the column names are the same. If they are not the same, your tool will not know how to deal with the data. And also, I think I mentioned this to one of the students, if possible, avoid having spaces in your column names. It will make your life a lot easier down the line if you need to write queries or things like that that manipulates columns. All right, so again, when you're appending data, always make sure that the column names in all the data sets match up. If they don't match up, and by matching up, it means the lower cases have to match up with the lower cases, the upper cases have to match up with the upper cases. Special characters have to match up. So if you have state underscore ID, all lower cases in one data set, the other data set has to be state underscore ID, all lower cases as well. Thank you.